Thanks very much, Nia. And all I want to say is the most powerful testimonies we've heard. It's very strong evidence that we hear from the law firms and the Citizens Advice and the other organisations. But the most powerful testimony is individuals whose stories tell us so much, partly about the distress that can be caused when things go wrong, but also give us an indication about how much can be achieved when an advice agency is able to put something right. And there are, I think, two issues here. I mean, the first is that even in the best of times, there is no perfect government. There is no, not just a government, but the private sector too. There is no system that is without flaw. And people can have, there can be errors and maladministration and sometimes the practice of frankly, devious employers and devious consumer companies and devious debt agencies and devious bailiffs. And those individuals need, as we've heard, a level playing field and need the system to be held to account properly. If that is true in the best of times, it is probably even more true at a time when there is, an almost unparalleled pace of legislative change taking place with the new government. I mean, whether it's the welfare reform legislation, whether it's proposed changes to employment protection, and possibly we hear flagged up the exemption of small companies from maternity and other employer rights. So there's so much change going on, and even where some of that change isn't necessarily in itself something that we would disagree with. I mean, there are elements of the welfare reform bill that we're entirely happy with, but nonetheless, change means a much higher risk of people falling foul of the system and potentially being having their lives disrupted. The second thing, I'm sure it's been said, but I will say it again, all the evidence shows that good advice and intervention will save money. And we know that's been well documented in terms of everything from benefit maximisation to physical and mental health and well-being. And we need the cases, we need the evidence, we need the stories that help us take that argument to ministers and win that argument. Because when money is tough, the one argument that we can make most effectively is that this is false economy. And that they will lose in 2 or 3 or 4 years' time what they gain notionally in terms of saving over the first couple of years of those reforms. So we've asked you before for help. Please keep that help coming. And best of all, it's the personal testimonies, as we've heard tonight, that are so strong and so helpful for those of us who are fighting that battle inside Parliament.
Thank you very much, Karen. Karen is, of course, our Shadow Minister in the DWP department.